news today out of Roswell, Georgia. Police are
the daughter of
reporting
Whitney Houston and Bobbi Brown, rushed to an area hospital.
Where'd you go, my friend?
You think I'd be a good singer?
Did I lose you?
Is it what you want to do?
In the darkness.
Or what you think you're supposed to do?
So if I'm lost,
It's me and you against the world, baby.
my direction,
He's a troubled young man.
be my guide.
He is the single best thing that's happened to me since my mom.
I walk through the storm.
Can't you just be happy for me?
I'll find you.
Everything is always about Whitney. I can never sing as well as you. I can never be the superstar.
You are the most beautiful thing I have ever made.
I have to carry on my mom's legacy.
Bobbi Kristina,
Thank you.
thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Have you guys?
Thanks for having us.
Joy, let's start with you. You are playing the titular character here, Bobbi.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that long since since Bobbi passed. I'm wondering what it was like for you to step into this role.
Honestly, I mean, without sounding cheesy, it was a dream come true. As a little girl, I've always adored Whitney Houston. I had this dream, I want to play Whitney Houston when I'm older. And as I grew up, I said, okay, so you don't look like Whitney. And you surely don't sound like Whitney. So I had to kind of let that dream die. But when this opportunity presented itself, I thought, oh my gosh, what bigger than life opportunity to shed light and to kind of offer some kind of justice or peace to Whitney Houston's favorite person in the world, her actual baby. And so I felt this huge responsibility, but then at the same time, like this huge blessing, a huge gift. And so I took it very personally, very seriously. I felt like, I have to honor this family.
Absolutely. And what about the two of you? What was it like getting asked to be a part of this project?
I mean, for me, it was, I was honored and humbled and at the same time because, portraying someone like Bobbi as iconic as he is and one of a kind, it's like you don't ever think that you're the guy cut out for such a ordeal or a job, So, for me, it was just I had to breathe and take it all in for a second. And then the same as Joy. For Joy, as she said, it was like, now it felt like it was like a duty, so to speak. Like I had to. This was, my calling.
Did you talk? Sorry, go ahead. Did you talk to Bobbi at all before or anything?
Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to. But then at the same time, I thought, well, maybe that was for the best too. Because then this way I don't go in with this biasness and then, I feel like I have to kind of cater to Bobbi more than just, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the story itself. So, yeah, I didn't get a chance to, but I think it was for the best.
Yeah.
For myself, the very first thing that I wanted to do was read the script, I think along with the rest of us, to make sure that the script was tasteful. Because we lost two amazing women. And I was a friend of both of theirs and loved them very much. Mm-hmm. So the very first thing that I asked was, can I read the script? I read the script. It was wonderful. They asked me to play. I played Pat Houston. I played the auntie. And we did a wonderful job. And what I'm going to tell you, when you all see, especially Demetria McKinney, who unfortunately isn't here with us today because she's working in Atlanta, she did the most amazing portrayal of Whitney Houston. Yeah. When I'm telling you, there was times that I forgot. I was watching Demetria from all of the essence, like she just did a wonderful job that I got chills. But everyone in the entire cast did a wonderful job, and we were very blessed that we had the director, Ty Hodges, who wanted to make sure with the script that we humanized these characters, that we explained the connections and why certain events took place, so that you could get to know them outside of them. Whitney Houston, major rock star, Bobbi Brown, major rock star, that you got to know them as people and connect the dots and their feelings and how as a family they interacted with one another.
As someone who you said, you were a friend of both of them and you love them dearly, how important was it for you when you read the script for it to not sort of run them down in the same way that I think a lot of media interpretations of Whitney and Bobbi have done over the course of years, to the point where it almost seems like they've wanted to sort of negate Whitney's legacy, which is unbelievable and incredible.
One of the first female artists to sell over 100 million albums, Whitney Houston was.
And just that voice.
And the voice, the voice of an angel. It was vital with us. I mean, we had fights and daily. I mean, with the existing script that we got, to make it even better once we all got there as performers, to make sure that we were capturing the right things, to make sure that it wasn't tabloidish, you know, made film. I mean, when you see the film, we've all seen it. It's a wonderful job, and that's what we're asking the family and for our fans to do, is to watch the movie and to get to know Bobbi Kristina. Yes, she is the daughter of Whitney Houston, but Joy will let you know that one of the things when she watched a lot of the interviews with Bobbi Kristina, that she just wanted people to kind of get to know her.
And we see that. I've seen that in some of the clips that I've seen of the film, where one of the big fights at the beginning of the film is about wanting people to know you as someone separate from or outside of Whitney's shadow. What was it like playing that?
Intense. There were very, very, and like Vivica said, when Demetria and I were in hair and makeup, we would have these moments that were kind of like otherworldly. You get chills, and they would be so intense, and then I feel like I'm giving Chrissy, you know, a last shot with her mom, and then she feels like I'm having a last shot with my baby, and we kind of just, Ty Hodges was so great, and a lot of times he would just let us go and let us play, and you know, he'll say, you know the lines, you've got the essence, let's see what happens, and in fact, that was one of those times, that scene you're referring to, where I just spoke on behalf of Chrissy, and she spoke on behalf of Whitney. But I just felt like there was this huge responsibility. Like she said, Chrissy's main goal was, or just a reoccurring statement was, I feel like the world didn't get to see the real me. And I think the way she was portrayed on reality TV, she was, you know, she's like, that's not me, that's not who I am. And so this story really honors her in that sense. You see how funny she is, you see how feisty she is, you know, you see her as a human being outside of the shadow of, you know, Whitney and Bobby's daughter, you know? And again, if you take her story and you take Chrissy off of it, it's still very relatable today, you know? She's in a abusive relationship. She finds her strength, gets out of, overcomes that. She has this serious, beautiful love with her mother, beautiful love with her father. And you see her and her friends living, you know, teenage to adulthood things that are very common today. She just had super external circumstances that made things a little bit more difficult. But I feel like it is very relatable for young people.
Yeah, and the film doesn't shy away from the sort of substance abuse aspects of their lives, or the sort of tabloidy aspects of their lives, but at the same time it adds depth and substance to them rather than just focusing on that.
Exactly, yeah. You get to see a lot of family love, family trials and tribulations, which are like any family that we all experience. And it just happened that, you know, her life is life in a bubble. And, you know, certain things, they pick the negative things to always focus on. But, you know, that's what tabloids and things do. And that's what we wanted to do with the Bobbi Kristina story, was to show the love, the music, and pay homage to their memory.
Yeah, just to humanize them, you know, throughout all of the, you know, the triumphs and the tragedies, you know, that these were normal people. They loved one another. They shared the same morals, the values. It's not all of the convoluted and stuff that we think and wanted, you know, the opinionated stuff that we have. It was really their lives, and I think we touched on that.
Yeah, you see.
And there's also a lot of wonderful messages, as Joy was saying, just to piggyback off of that, about young girls that getting into domestic violence situation and relationships, that we want to let them know that it's okay to speak up. Don't be so blinded by love, because you know, sometimes love can come in and boy, can it lead you astray.
Especially nowadays, there are so many ways, you know, to be abusive, and they're subtle, you know, sometimes you don't even know. So I don't,
mental and physical.
I mean mental abuse, I mean, of course physical abuse, you speak up. But I think through our film, you're able to see just how subtle abuse can be. And hopefully, if you're in that situation, you can recognize it and then, you know, speak up or decide, hey, you're abusing me, I'm out, you know.
Yeah, because it becomes normal for some people,
Yeah,
depending on
normalized.
circumstances, and then it's like, that's not okay.
Right.
You know?
Justifications become normal as well.
Yeah.
You get very used to knowing how to justify the
Absolutely.
Especially when you're young, you think it equals love. Like, oh, he
Yeah.
loves me, he's paying attention. Even if
Always
it's
the cop
negative.
out.
Right.
You
Or he loves me, I'm gonna turn my eye on that part. It's just a flaw, you know.
Absolutely. Joy, I have to ask, what was it like for you sharing the screen with these two icons right here? I mean, I think...
Whoa.
Oh my goodness. Let me just tell you, first of all, I was like, oh God, please let me get to the part.
God, please, you are Weebay. Like, we like, you're like...
Hey, all right.
Famous meme, look.
That's true. There it is. Oh my God. Did we get that? We have to get that. Yeah.
Yes, I told him that. It was my first time meeting him here when we came to New York. And as soon as I saw him, I was like, yo, the meme, dog. The meme.
Man.
One,
Gotta love it.
It never gets old, and every time I see it, I've seen The Wire so many times, every time I see him, like, oh, that's when he finds out that he shot a cop.
Look great. That's it, right? 'Cause that's the part most people,
we
it
shot a
goes over their
cop?
heads. Like, what happened? That's the ultimate reaction. I wasn't trying to shoot a cop.
What did you think when someone pointed out to you that has become a meme where, like, literally if you go on Twitter and it's like, I can't believe this person said this, and then that and then it comes up, yeah.
I mean, I'm always shocked by it. I mean, it never gets old, like you said, and it's just, I'm
I
fascinated.
told him he needs
I'm
to
just
get a check
fascinated.
from it. Okay? I did.
We gonna work that out,
lot,
y'all.
right?
We gonna work that out.
I'm actually gonna say this, like, I never get a picture with my guests after this, but we are gonna do a gift together, both of us.
Definitely. We're gonna double them up. We're gonna double up on them.
I'm not denying myself
All
that
right,
viral
copy that,
privilege.
Rick.
know that's
Copy
right.
that. Copy that.
So, Joy, what was it like working with the two of them?
Well, by the time Hassan got to set, we were filming already, and he walks in, and he was Bobby. So I didn't even get to have that Hassan Weave, meme moment
right.
because I'm in full-on Chrissy, and then it's like my dad just walked through the door. And so we go right into this scene, and he was so Bobby, like, from the get. And I mean, you could just feel his warmth and his genuineness as a person. And so I felt really comfortable as Joy, and then Joy, who's protective of Chrissy, to sit down and have a conversation with, like, my dad. I was in actor land by then. I was in the role.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and then meeting Viv, okay, I was like, oh gosh, it's Vivica Fox. Okay, so
Like, Mama, I made it.
Yeah.
It
You
is.
gotta be
It's a
calm.
Mama, I made it moment.
So we had been filming the night before, and we were at the same hotel. So she comes, actually, I go to the car, right? I didn't even tell you this. And I get in the front, and the producer was riding us over, and he says, can you mind getting in the back? Viv's coming. And I was like, okay.
I didn't even know she was in the car.
Yeah, so I'm in the back seat, and I'm dog tired too. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just be quiet the whole way. I could get away. And she gets in, she goes, good morning, how y'all doing? And she looks back, oh, you look just like Bobbi Kristina. She's got the teeth and everything.
I was blown away. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and she was so normal and so down to earth. I said,
We had lots of lunches at CPK.
Yes. Lots of lunches.
We did a lot of bonding. We all hung out, and even after the film was over.
We still hang out. We hung out last night.
Yeah, she came and saw my boys dance and everything.
Yeah,
Made it
and
rain.
then you forget because I'm with Vivica and we're at lunch or CPK somewhere completely regular, and then people are like looking, and I'm like, oh, I'm with Viv. I'm with Viv. You forget because she's so down to earth that you forget she's this massive icon. So it's cool.
Thank you, baby.
I have to ask, it's coming back, and I'm curious if you're going to be returning for Curb Your Enthusiasm at all.
Only part of the black family's been asked back, and I heard J.B. Smooth has been asked back. I was like, yo, where's the rest of the family at LD?
Right?
Right. I've got to put LD on the block. What's up? Where's the
You were
love?
with LD for a little while. What happened there?
Supposedly my character died of cancer.
Oh, that's
remember?
right. I forgot.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't care. He was like, here, drink some cucumber juice or something like that. Yeah, you get better. All right.
I forgot that your character died. Excuse me. I mean,
Yeah.
he's such a shit
Well,
to
then
so many
maybe
people on
everyone
that
else
show.
did.
It's hard to remember.
But I'm a huge fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's amazing when I did Curb Your Enthusiasm. I used to be able to come to New York and like blend in after Curb. People were like, oh my God, I love you on Curb. So, yeah. But if he was asked to come back, yeah. No, it's crazy.
Were you used to improvising at all? Like, had you done anything like that before Curb?
Never. And you have to have on your big girl boots when you work with Larry David because he you can like think you funny, and then he'll be like, no, that's not, no, try that again. Going back to the front door, try, no, that,
So they're like, stop being funny, just do the thing.
Yes,
Like, yeah.
yes, exactly, that's him, yeah.
What was it like getting tossed in between like him and JB Smooth in terms
Lots
of like,
of laughs.
yeah.
You had to hold your face. I mean, they would yell cut, and we would like bust out laughing. So it was fun. But but it was crazy because you'd come to work and they'd give you a little piece of paper with a synopsis on the scene. Like, oh, today we're having a scene about Larry wants to use organic toilet paper, and then we had to think of things like that. Or one time we came and it was about
Toilet paper's like Port Authority.
yeah, well, but it was about like semen on the blanket. Like, yeah, it was kind of gross. It was always kind of like gross stuff. Yeah. Then we had to write jokes about it. So
You had to write jokes about it.
yeah, you did, and then you come in and you pitch your joke and pitch your line, and then like how your line would come in, and then they throw their line at you, and then you create the scene.
That's so crazy
Totally
that he would
improv.
make the actors pitch the joke.
Yeah. Wow. I know. I should have got a writing credit. Another
Paid
check.
as a writer.
Right.
You think?
Yeah. Let's get some questions from the audience. Who has a question right here?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I wanted to ask you guys, playing in this role, what did you take away from the film that you would not have otherwise taken away if you hadn't played it at all? Like, what did you take away with you?
Well, I'll start by saying I don't really think it was anything that it was to take away from me. It just reinforced what was already there for me. That Bobby was just this kind-hearted, loving father. I'm a father too. My daughter's 20 years old, halfway through college, and
Can you believe that?
I love telling that part. But yeah, it just reinforced what I already thought. That's it, really.
For me, I actually got stronger after this part via Chrissy's story. I think right before her untimely passing, she realized that she was enough. She didn't need to depend on anyone else to fulfill or to pursue her dreams. And I think with all of the things she was going through, to still realize that and then to still actually pursue it and chase it was so powerful for me. So it gave me strength and a bit of confidence,
I loved playing Pat Houston. Viv always hustling. So for me to be the one that was like trying to figure out them jobs for everybody, like, okay, baby girl, we got to keep you working. So, yeah.
Came natural. You were on
Yeah,
it.
it came real natural for me, unfortunately.
Next question.
Hello, darling.
I wanted to know, what do you think will be the most surprising thing people learn about Bobbi Kristina?
I don't think people know just how funny she was and feisty. She was hilarious, and she was like very kind and soft-spoken sometimes, but she was also Whitney's kid. So she would tell you off in a song, like a lot of the times she's fighting and she goes, "Get out of my house," like Whitney and Bobby
like Whitney, yes.
would fight. Chrissy had a lot of that, and so she's hilarious and she's feisty and she was fun, and she had these big dreams. I don't think people know that about her.
I think I have time for one more question right here.
Yes. Hey, so this question is for Vivica. I wanted to know, because you knew Whitney, and it was like it's only been 2 years, did you ever feel like, shoot, this is too soon to have a biopic of her, of Bobbi Kristina? Did you ever feel like that? What made you really, besides reading the script, make you say, I'm gonna do this?
Well, you're right. I mean, originally, like when we first got it, that was the first reaction. Maybe it's too soon. After reading the script, and then once I found out, like, the cast, and that the main person for me that helped me decide to do it was Ty Hodges, the director. Ty and I worked years ago on City of Angels, and I was like, I've been dying for an opportunity to work with him. So I knew with the team, the director, and the cast, that we would deliver quality. Because I think more than anything else that that's the biggest fear, that everyone thinks that we're going to trash this story. No. And I just want to assure you all that we delivered it with absolute love and respect. Okay?
Yeah. No, it definitely honors the family. No, I was saying the story is definitely pays homage. It honors them. We would never. Ever.
Absolutely. On that note, people can see Bobbi Kristina
Sunday,
October 8th on TV1, right?
Check it out. Check it out.
Guys,
give it up for this team right here. Let's hear it.
Thank you.